Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just got back from watching Midsommar, which is directed by Ari Aster, the exact same director who gave us Hereditary. And when it comes to his style of horror, I definitely think he eschews the typical cliches for horror, such as jump scares and obnoxious character writing, and instead focuses on genuinely disturbing ideas and slowly wheeling you in to the torment. As is the case with Midsommar, the story is about an American couple, Danny and Christian, who are on the verge of breaking up. But in order to help them out, and in order for all of them to chill out a bit, they all head over to a Swedish village at the request of one of their friends for the Midsommar, which is a midsummer festival that takes place there. At first, the people there seem very kind, peaceful, and very welcoming to these American tourists. But if you've seen anything from the advertising or know anything about these kinds of movies, you know that things are not as they seem. But I'll leave it there. Because one of the movie's biggest strengths is how shocking a lot of the horror is. And it's not, like I said, none of it feels unearned, like campy jump scares. A lot of it is focused on very disturbing ideas, and a lot of it is focused on you wondering how much of it is real and how much of it is a drug-addled fantasy, especially considering the amount of drugs that are used in the movie. So it just makes you wonder. It's sort of like The Haunting to me in a way, where sometimes the horror comes from what you don't see rather than what you do. And the things that you do see are often done in a way that's more subtle than you'd imagine. Even the unsubtle moments make sense given the story. And, much like The Haunting, it makes you wonder at the beginning how much of it is in the protagonist's head and how much of it is really happening. Even if you don't find certain moments scary, they're still very disturbing and interesting ideas that don't shy away when it comes to explicit content. That includes extremely graphic violence and extremely gratuitous nudity. Like, I'm surprised this got an R rating and not an NC-17 rating, given the material that's shown. So if you're at all squeamish throughout, you definitely shouldn't watch it. It is way too much for you, and even as someone who sees violent actions committed all the freaking time in movies and video games, I was genuinely shocked by some of this stuff. Same with the nudity, but I won't go too far into that. Danny, Christian, and the American tourists are all the pretty good characters. Obviously, Danny gets the most focus, and as a final girl type in these horror films, she does a great job as you'd expect. Unfortunately, some of the other characters, such as this obnoxious guy named Mark, those characters like him are sort of one note, and you feel like you're just waiting for that person to either get axed or for something bad to happen to them. There are a few characters like that where it feels like they just aren't written with the same amount of effort as the main characters. Another thing that you should know about this film is that it is extremely slowly paced, like glacially paced. I almost wanted to check my watch partway through the movie because even though it's paced well in terms of getting to in terms of building up the scares and foreshadowing, it does feel like it can take forever to get anywhere, especially right at the beginning. So if you're going to watch this movie, grab a drink and definitely be patient, because you will be rewarded for your waiting, but at the same time, it just takes a long time to get anywhere. And I got rather bored on a few occasions. But that's pretty much all I have to say when it comes to negatives of the film. It's got a genuinely great style. It executes its variety of horror pretty well. And I'm genuinely excited to see what the director has to do next time. So I'll give Midsommar a 7.5 out of 10. See you next time.